Hello everybody and welcome to the table. So I've been itching to get my hands on this knife for a while now, and what's really cool, this comes to us from Cooper Cutlery. Now they're based out of Winchester, Ohio, and they have resurrected some of the old knife making equipment that was used by Queen Cutlery, Shatton Morgan, and they are producing new lines of traditional folding knives made here in the USA. So I've been kind of excitedly watching their works over time. I want to see how they compare to Great Eastern Cutlery and other, traditional brands that exist today. So this knife right here, I've been really happy to be able to get a hold of, but it has this really nice spear point blade. Let's take a closer look at this one right here. Check out the handles. So we have, this one is camel bone, and so it's polished smooth on both sides. So you can see it's a nice flat contour there. So very smooth transitions from bolster to the handle. Pins are smooth. We have a blue shield right here. They also had a version with a red shield as well. Bolsters up here. Nice and clean interior. I don't know if you can see that. Looks good. Spear point blade looks very nice. We have the Dollar Knife Co. markings on the blade. And you can see what looks like a dollar sign right there is actually an SM, which I'm going to assume that's for the Shatton Morgan branding, since this was made on that original equipment from who knows how long ago. But really, I love this spear point type of blade. Very pokey. Right down here, we can see again Winchester, Ohio. So this blade was made in 2023, and this is a D2 steel. So Dollar Knife Co. markings right there. I think it's just a handsome knife. And honestly, the build quality in hand, this actually feels really nice. So if you told me in a blindfold, wearing a blindfold, if this was a Great Eastern Cutlery knife, I would not really be able to tell the difference in terms of hand feel and finish. It feels very, very similar to that type of quality. So we can see with it closed right here, there's a half stop like you just saw. So we can see half stop is super crisp. So the springs are really, really well done. Everything is nice and flush. But yeah, very easy to pull open. There's this large nick running along the side. Don't even need it for this knife. For this knife, I can just pinch and get it open. So that's really nice. Very pocketable. Just really thin profile. But we'll check out these stats too. Let's go ahead and see how big it is. So let me pull out the ruler here, and we can see the overall length of this knife is coming in at about 6.25 inches when it's open. And our blade length from tip to bolster is about 2.75 inches. Sharpened edge is a little bit shy of 2.5 inches. So it's not a huge knife by any means, but it still feels really nice in hand. Very impressive for Cooper Cutlery. And I can have some comparisons on the table that I really would like to just kind of show off a little bit to get an idea of what you have in hand. Because a D2 traditional folder, it kind of reminds me a lot of the Rosecraft blades that have come out recently. Same thing with the Rough Rider Reserve line, Rough Rider Reserve line of knives. Those also use D2 steel. Only thing is this is, again, a US made knife, and those are made in China. But I do have on the table right here, for comparison's sake, this one right here is the Lusahatchee Jack. And again, this is from Rosecraft Blades, also a D2 steel blade. So we can see a side-by-side size comparison right there. And they are quite similar in overall length, but one thing that you will notice in hand is just the thickness, because the Cooper Cutlery here, the dollar knife, is much thinner in profile. This one feels beefier, it's heavier, but I do kind of like that slim profile, because if you're actually going to put this in your pocket, it's going to be a lot less noticeable, while you're carrying it. Blade shapes, of course, very different, both D2 steel, with the D2 steel markings, as you can see. And these are super commonly available, about 60 bucks. You can pick these up right now from a few different retailers online. Whereas, of course, this one right here, just like Great Eastern Cutlery, these Cooper Cutlery knives are kind of getting a little bit harder to get a hold of. So if you want to pick one of these up, I highly recommend you follow their social media. So they do have an Instagram page where they will announce, like, hey, this Sunday, we're dropping a bunch of such and such knife. Be there. And that's how I got this one. And what's really nice is I was able to buy it at the announced time. There was sort of a rush to get them, but this particular model didn't sell out for, I want to say, a good 15-20 minutes. There were some other color variants that sold out quicker, within a minute or two. but not nearly as bad as Great Eastern Cutlery, which tends to sell out, you know, in seconds by comparison. So this might be one of the better kept secrets as of now, at least in 2024. But I do want to compare it to at least one knife from Great Eastern Cutlery. Maybe not the best comparison, but it is something I wanted to kind of show off. This is the number 56 in jigged natural linen micarta. Similar in size, similar blade shape, but again, a different handle pattern. So this is our number 56 right here. And let's open this up. Let's just set them side by side. So you can kind of see the similarities right there in the pattern. Again, ignore the handles, but the blades themselves with this really nice spear point tip. Check them out side by side right there. And again, Winchester, Ohio, Titusville, Pennsylvania. You can see the markings, finish. And in terms of hand feel, again, very similar. They both feel excellent in hand. So what Cooper Cutlery is now producing, again, if you have no luck getting Great Eastern Cutlery knives, aim for these. These are really good. You know, I know they're going to come out with more patterns in the future. And based on how quickly they're selling, I'm hoping that Cooper Cutlery is going to be having, you know, great success with their model lines and things like that. And it's great, again, always to have more traditional knife makers based here in the United States, because there's just something about, you know, holding a knife pattern that's been produced on original machinery that's been around in our country for, you know, 100+ years. That's just really cool. It's really fulfilling, and it makes them, again, kind of fun to collect. So a lot of variants of this particular model. I love the Dollar Knife Co. branding. It's just kind of cool. It's unique. It's unique. So it doesn't come in a tube, unfortunately. It comes in a box, but the box is actually really nice. Really quickly, just comes with some paperwork. So we have a warranty information right here. We have a really cool, a copy of the patent for their knives, their slip joints. And then again, just a copy of the limited lifetime warranty. So this paperwork that came with it, kind of nice to have with you, at least for collection's sake. But quality box, quality knife. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any comments, please let me know. Really nice, cool little collector right here. You know, I bought this one to carry, but now looking at it, it just looks too nice to carry. So the hunt continues for a knife that I will actually carry. You know, probably one of the Rosecraft blades, to be honest with you. But hope you all have a nice day. See you later.